From the East Coast to the West Coast, we stopped at the Kriver campground. We actually did this trip in June of 2023.
Yeah, man. Pretty cool. All right, so I know some of you have been wanting updates. Well, I'll keep trying to update you, but we've been riding pretty hard here the last couple of days. So 800 miles yesterday, 700 today. Yesterday, coming through Washington, we hit a lot of traffic. That kind of slowed us down. Today, we were going to be 2 hours earlier, and we ran into traffic and then thunderstorms, so we had to gear up. But hey, we're here. There's our little cabin. Willie's bike. My bike. We don't know who's next door yet, but a couple of nice bikes here. This place is pretty cool. I did get some video of when we came in through here. We'll walk up here. We got a little dog park here. But they've got ATV trails here. They've got all kinds of stuff here. ATV rentals. He did a pretty nice job with everything. I don't smoke a lot. Anybody knows me knows that. But hey, I brought some little cigars, and why not burn one while we're hanging out here? Pretty cool place. Real cool. Take you out here to the clubhouse. Showers and all that kind of stuff is out here. They have cabins. Tent setups. I mean, you can pitch a tent if you want. Last evening, I didn't do any updates. I did a short video. We didn't get to the campground until a little after dark. We actually set up with lights, so it was a little dark. But set up the tent, and I just set up my hammock between two trees, and we were good to go. I did do a short video on that this morning before we left there, but we had to keep rolling pretty good, so that's why I didn't do too much as far as videos are concerned. But I did get some video today that was really cool, some real good riding. It's some excellent riding. Here's the clubhouse, man. That's where you check in. Bathhouses and everything are in there. Men's room. This is a neat place, man. And hey, for those of you from Lancaster area, man, you could do a long weekend and come down here and just hang out. They do some events where they just have a big old parties and stuff. There's not a whole lot happening here tonight, but oh well.
After we left Kriver, we headed west and rode through New Mexico. Killed a lot of bugs, as you can see on the camera lens. You kill some bugs, sometimes they get caught on the camera lens. But we ended up having pretty clear skies for most of the day, but we did get caught in a couple of thunderstorms that slowed us down a little bit, so we didn't get quite as far as we had wanted to that day. But we stayed at a motel just west of Albuquerque. Our clothes got pretty wet, so we got a motel to dry our clothes and take a shower. Route 89A south towards Sedona is just amazing. A lot of nice riding out there, but that was one of my favorite roads. We had, I'd done it in vehicles before, but this was the first time on a motorcycle. And definitely something that I might end up doing again. As we rolled into Sedona, another biker came up beside us and introduced himself later, but his name was Warren, and we ended up riding with him for a little ways. He took us on the back roads. He was from that area and hooked us up with a place to stay that evening. Great great times.
California. That's Pennsylvania on Friday morning. I don't know, right? Okay. Are you? Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna stop up here and figure it out. Is it? Well, we're gonna end up in Scottsdale. We're stopping down there after this. Yeah, it's not that far. I don't know. What do you want to do, Willie? You want to go the back way to get down there? You want to go the back way to get down to Scottsdale? All right, we'll follow you.
Followed Warren, and he took us down the back roads, some beautiful roads in Arizona through Jerome and Prescott, as he pronounced it. We stopped for a meal there on Whiskey Row, and that was the first meal that Willie and I had, the first real sit-down meal we had eaten before we left the East Coast at Dewey Beach, but we hadn't, I mean, we were eating, obviously, but, you know, it was quick meals. We weren't really sitting down and taking our time. This was the first meal that we'd had since Friday morning, where we sat, took our time, ordered what we wanted, and sat there and relaxed. So it was great. We were riding pretty hard, prior to that, so we weren't eating as much and taking as much time to stop and eat. There were times when we put 2 tanks of gas through before we even get a breakfast sandwich at a gas station or anything. But some of these roads are just incredible. If you've ever been in that area, you know what I'm talking about. The riding is amazing. Videos don't do it justice. You know, you try to capture what you can, but you can never do it justice. But this took us down to Scottsdale, Harley, and he took us on some other roads that we had. I have no idea what roads we were on. We were just following Warren, and we didn't even know what routes we were on sometimes. It was great, but that's what makes it fun. But we had a great meal at a restaurant in Prescott on Whiskey Row. We got the big pulled pork platter and brisket. There's all kinds of stuff. It's excellent. A couple of times Warren just said, hey, he waved us past and left us ride so that we could ride at our own pace.
This is the same bike my wife has, except hers is a white pearl. This is the matte finish. Anyway, Scottsdale Harley Davidson. Check out the inside of this. This is the largest dealership in Pennsylvania. If you haven't been, or in Pennsylvania. This is the largest dealership in the United States.
Correction, it's the largest dealership in the world.
Panam's here. That's a cool color there. Check this stuff out over here. The owner is a Marine, so this bike kind of tells his personal story. And then he did a bike, they get these custom painted to honor the military. Pretty cool. They have a local guy that does custom paint jobs on these bikes for them. They have weddings here up there. This place is massive. There's another custom paint job. That's sharp. They have a movie theater downstairs. You bring your bike in for service, you can go downstairs and watch a movie while they work on your bike. Alrighty. I got some of the stresses.
We said goodbye to our friend Warren that evening. That's what's great about the biker community. He hooked us up with a great place to stay and got us a very good discount, employee discount. Then we headed for 5 a.m. the next morning. We headed for Oceanside, California, and we got there around noontime. That completed the coast-to-coast part of it. We did spend a little bit of time on the beach, got something to eat, and then we headed for Laidlaw's Harley Davidson. I watch a lot of Matt Laidlaw's videos. Great group of guys out there, and they have some very good videos. We got to meet Andrew this time. He was on some of the videos that if you watch any of their videos, you'll see him. And he gave us a few tips of the area, and then we did some lane splitting. Well, why not? You're in California. It's legal in California. I know some of you think it's crazy, and I thought the same thing at first until I did it. When I realized that, when cars expect it, it's really not that big a deal. I didn't feel at all. After a little bit, I wasn't apprehensive at all about it. You just knew you had to pay a little bit of attention to what the vehicles were doing. But most vehicles, when they saw you, they would start to move over and spread out and give you a little bit of room because they expect it in California, especially in heavy traffic. Kept heading east, and a lot of desert out there if you're familiar with the area. And we headed to the Hoover Dam. Willie had never been to the Hoover Dam. Again, some very good riding in that area. We did stay at a motel that night again before heading for the Hoover Dam the next morning. Some nice riding. Hoover Dam is amazing. How that was built and the whole history there is incredible. After that, we headed back towards Vegas. And we had some real nice riding. Weather was very good. Did have some real high winds for a while, but you push through that. Wasn't a crazy big deal. In Vegas, we ate at a little place called the Black Bear Gazette. Got a good meal. That evening, we headed north or that afternoon, we headed north on I-15, and we found a little campground, set up the tents, and that was off of I-70 in Utah. Next morning, one of the gas stops was at Jackass Joe's. That place is interesting. There's a lot of nice scenery and a lot of places you can pull over on I-70 in Utah and in a lot of the western states.
Yeah, this is wild.
But we did pull over at this one spot.
Just amazing. Get out on this ledge here. Oh boy. Snow-capped mountains all the way over in the distance there. Yesterday coming down through, we saw some that looked like they were still pretty loaded. A lot of snow up on the mountains now. One of the locals told us at breakfast this morning that there's a lot more snow this year than they had the last couple of years. So hopefully to bring their water tables up, which he said they needed.
We continued east to Route 50 and went to my nephew's house and then did some touring from there.
Cripple Creek Gold Mining District. Interesting. My nephew Steve told me we got to come up here and check this out. The views are absolutely amazing once again. Wild. Yesterday we came down I-70 and there's a lookout where you can look out over and you can see a town way off in the distance. And I measured it. It was 24 miles to that town. Willie and I are guessing how far those mountain peaks are over there. I'm going to guess 75 to 100 miles. They're pretty far off. Pretty nice.
So I have a nephew, Steve, married to Rachel, and they live in Colorado. They're in Canyon City area. And I have a niece married to Steve and Ruthie, and they live close to Colorado Springs. And so we stayed there at their house the one evening. We also stayed at my nephew Steve and Rachel's house too. But we're leaving Steve and Ruthie's house here. And from there, this would have been Saturday morning because we were meeting 6 other guys in Denver, Colorado. They flew out and shipped their bikes out. And we met them in Denver and took off and headed for Seven Keys Lodge. That is, now, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, Estes Park area, Colorado. And some beautiful riding again. It's tough to beat the riding out there in that area part of the country. But we got there. We did have some weather getting there, a little bit of rain and hail and just a little bit of a mixture. But in Denver, it was a mid-70s, and you didn't go far until it was in the mid-40s, and even got a little bit colder than that. When we were in Arizona the week before, it was 107 degrees, which is just warm. That's just hot. And we got to Colorado, and our first night there, we woke up the next morning and it was 34 degrees. So that's a little bit of a temperature change. And this is Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So, yeah, we had a great time, but we got to spend some time with Mark Powell. He's a country musician. He's a singer-songwriter, and hung out at the bar that evening with him for a couple of hours. He actually owns the place. And, oh my goodness, we had a few beers and a lot of laughs. So enjoy a little bit of music from Mark Powell. I got this boss, ticks me off at least a couple times a week. He gets his kicks from flipping my switch. I swear he's got it in for me. Last night, Friday night, he knew I had plans, so he scheduled me to work late again. Everybody's got one. Some people are one. My daddy used to say, son, y'all already caught it? My daddy used to say, son, they're just like an opinion. That certain little part of the anatomy whose name I won't repeat, but everybody's got one. Some people.
That's awesome.
They're all small businesses. They completely agree with us.
That guy next door's got a big Labrador, and man, he loves to bark. Digs up my grass, gets in my trash, leaves big piles in my yard. One day I wrote him a friendly note, and he answered to me where I should go. Everybody's got one. Some people are one. My daddy used to say, son, they're just like an opinion. That puckered little part of the anatomy. Some are bigger, if you ask me. Everybody's got one. Some people.
Yeah, I love it.
They come in egotistical, self-absorbed and cheap. Some are pompous, some are partial, and some are just complete. Everybody's got one. Some people are one. My daddy used to say, son, it's just like an opinion. A certain little part of the anatomy. Some are bigger, if you ask me.
Everybody's got one. Some people are one. And if you don't like this song, you probably are one.
Yeah! That would make a #1.
Yeah, so I hope you liked the video. We had a lot of fun on that trip. I do have some more footage, and I'll be putting some more stuff together for later. Do a couple different videos on the trip. I'm also planning some stuff for next summer for 2024. But you know, I love to get out and ride. I love to watch a lot of videos and YouTube videos and see people's different journeys and what they do. Get tips from some people, you know, so go ahead if you've got a trip that that you did this past summer or that you're planning. Hey, put it in the comments, and if you've got some tips and tricks. Next year, I'm planning on 2024. I'm planning on doing this year. I stayed on the southern side of the United States. Next year, I'm going to be doing the northern side. So hey, I'm sure there's some of you that have done that. If you've got some tips, go for it. Put it in the comments. And hey, we'll catch up with you in the next video. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get the notifications. But I do a lot of shorts, at least a few short videos. I like doing those because I have a short attention span, so it's easier to just do short videos. But I do enjoy going back through videos and looking at the journey again and reliving it. And hopefully this gives you guys a chance to kind of do that. Gives you all a chance to travel along. Over and out.